let's do this. We are about to review one of the greatest skate parts ever. Rodney Mullen Almost Round 3. It is legendary. Doesn't matter if you're a skater or not, this just looks different from any kind of other skating. This part had a huge impact on my skating. I watched it about 1,000 times. When I started skateboarding, it was already out, and to be honest, I had no idea what was going on. I was just intrigued to see what was possible on a skateboard, and I could not stop watching it. And it's incredible. Almost 20 years later, it is still on a level that remains unmatched. I don't know if there will ever be another skateboard part showing like this many tricks that had never been done. And I'm pretty confident to say some tricks of this video still to this day haven't been redone. Like, that's the actual scope of the originality of this part. So that being said, I'm very excited to watch this again. We are starting this off with this fancy animation of this boxing ring. I miss seeing stuff like that in skate movies these days. I feel like when I started skating, there were like a lot more of these kind of fun and creative intros. We got Rodney Mullen versus Damon Song. This is the third round. Second round happened in 1999. We see Mullen putting that helmet on and stepping into the ring, gets beaten, and we get this lovely transition. Like, the way this is animated is so cool. The first clip is probably the easiest clip of the entire part. I mean, it's still decent, but it's basically just nose many nollie flip out. The creativity and the awesomeness of that clip, though, is just on another level. Must have felt like so good doing this. This is just an assumption derived by the happy face of Rodney. And here we get the lovely transition. I'm gonna mention this a lot of times, but the filming in this part is amazing. Starting off the clip, seeing like his legs only, handstand flip to nose many. We get a little tic-tac here, which is kind of unusual for Rodney. I don't know. It was probably like super scary running up to a mani pad, have the world turn upside down, get that flip, landing to nose many. If I landed that, I would not want to redo that. We move on to the next trick. I think it's called 360 spin in freestyle. You just do like a lot of 360 spins, and he goes from mani to one-wheeled manual. I just love that clip, like the filmer walking around him in like the opposite direction, getting into the one wheel. You can really tell what is happening there. And I think to get that 360 spin to one-wheeled, you have to have like super tight trucks. Every time I do a one-wheeled manual, tighten them as much as I can. And the great filming continues, spinning the camera, just filming the skyscrapers. It makes like so much sense with the clip. And again, we have a genius transition. Clip starting off, Rodney Mullen in one-handed handstand position, and he's locking in to primo. I think that is something a few freestyle skaters do these days. But back then it was probably an NPD. Like, I'm not a freestyle expert. And right here I want to point out, which is also like kind of important because I'm talking to some freestyle skaters. They're sometimes a little annoyed that like every freestyle trick, it gets credited to Rodney Mullen. That is not the case anymore. There's like a lot of new freestyle tricks out these days. Just wanted to point this out real quick. Let's continue talking about that second part of the trick. Just like a real bounce back. I don't know what this is called, but I know it's super difficult. He makes it look way too easy, all the tricks that he does. But this one specifically, I have a friend who is like super talented at freestyle skating, but he can just not figure out how this works. And I'm very excited for what is coming out. Like, we got this bank. It's just a small flat bank. It's very hard to get decent tricks on for a street part, but the Mullen manages this task well by doing this kick flip to truck stand 1.5 flip out. Pretty confident around that time. NBD done this trick as well. It was a huge struggle, and the way he does it, so good. The way it is filmed, amazing. Let's get followed by another clip of this bank. You see Mullen wearing different clothes, and he does this kind of trick. It's kind of hard to tell what he's doing. These days it's very easy to see it in slow motion. You can probably tell like it's a fakey big heel to Casper, 180 out. But back then it was a little less convenient to figure out what was happening. And I think when you watch his parts, this is what you have to do on every second trick. Slow it down, watch it a couple of times until you figure out what is actually happening. And the bank madness continues with this half cap flip to Casper, big flip out. Filming is great. We see the shoe of the filmer in this clip. I don't bother that. Some don't like this kind of happenings, but I really wouldn't mind. I think the way this is filmed is great. Such a flowy and smooth way to combine street skating elements with freestyle skating. This is the mix that makes this whole thing outstanding. And now look at this impossible, well executed. Logging into nose many. Nollie flip out, boom. Perfect. Like that is a legit street skating trick, you could say. And to this day, it's very technical. Very decent. Another transition with this, I don't know, how do you call that? We call it in German, Gabelstapler. And he does a crook on that. Pressure. Very heel flip out. Kind of clearing some distance on a flip out. I think it's so cool. He did this on this Gabelstapler. And he's not finished yet. He does basically the same trick frontside. Pressure, hard flip out. Filming so beautiful again. Getting that underneath angle, this is probably the craziest, best angle you can get for this trick. The two tricks which you saw are like some sort of his signature moves. Like he also did them in round 2. It's rare to see the front crook variation these days. It's an amazing trick though. Like I love doing that trick. And now we're getting to see some NBDs. This very heel flip, 2 truck stand, frontside 180 out. Makes like no sense in my brain, like how he managed to do that. I think variable heel flips are not supposed to be like this steep, but somehow he got that, which made it possible for him to lock into truck stand, riding away all smooth, flowy, looks very controlled. I've been trying this trick before and it just does not make sense to me. Hopefully I figure it out one day. We continue same spot, rolling up fakie, half cap truck stand, too fakey, making it look way too easy. Trust me guys, this is so difficult. We got another genius transition and one more bank trick, rolling up fakie again, doing a fakie frontside flip, 180 out, getting that 360 rotation. Beautiful trick, next level difficult. And we also have to mention how clean and smooth he does it. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense like this Yeti spotting right now. It's a monster in the bushes. And we move on to this nose many. Not the most technical trick, but I think he had to get quite some airtime to get up there. Unfortunately, I never got to skate that spot. I heard it's like super steep. This must have been kind of scary. Attack madness is just to continue with this ollie up, finger very heel flip to nose many. New trick for sure. And the way he gets that finger very heel flip, it just looks so natural. Well balanced. Nice roll away and just onto the next trick. Tray flip, primo, roll out. Such a cool way to introduce freestyle skating to street skating. So the line that is coming next probably made some hats explode. Back in 04, this is the first time that the kickflip into primo slide was introduced to the world of skateboarding. I think important to mention right here, primo slides have been around for quite some time, but the kickflip in part plays like a very crucial role. The combination of this makes the trick like so much harder. And yeah, I mean, look at this beauty. This is still magical to this day, but back then it didn't make sense, I guess. One thing, when I look at this primo pad, I wish I would have one of those. It looks so good. It looks super slidey. You can see he put a lot of wax on this. That black line on that white surface. That's what you gotta do. A lot of wax for primo slides. This is just the opening, the most simple variation. We continue with this heel flip to railside primo slide. And this variation, you actually face the graphic of the skateboard. It's a lot more difficult, and also in that one you have to front shove out instead of a back shove. It is the details I had to learn trying to duplicate all of this crazy madness. Look at this roll away, absolutely clean. It must have felt so good And if it was not enough, he moves on doing that trick, switch. Just the same trick, switch. So much more difficult, but he makes it look the same. He makes it look way too easy. Been doing this trick as well, and it was like hell. It was a crazy battle. Something that I also noticed watching this, he kind of like points his finger on the left hand, and this is something I do as well. It's a funny detail, haven't noticed this before. We move on with a switch heel front dark side. Right now every trick is getting so difficult. I feel like I could talk about the complexity for like 10 minutes of each trick, but we have to move on. It's on a way another level than just a regular kickflip into dark side, which is already hard enough once in a lifetime. You're gonna do this trick once, okay, I'm glad I did this, let's move on. And it moves on to the regular version of the trick. I would say that is easier. And I don't know if you have noticed this before, but he also does it fakey. Super clean, super fast. It's kind of tough to like roll away with some sort of speed on dark sides. He manages, of course, he's the master of this. And yeah, we had that same trick switch, regular, fakey. And now the portfolio gets completed with the nollie version of it. You have this super incredibly difficult trick and he just gets all 4 of them. That is something we have to appreciate. Rodney was also a genius of stances. And now we're gonna get a line again. Nice front crook, good pop out. Nice, very heel flip. By the way, he's the inventor of the trick. I think it was 1986. And he hops up on his loading dock. Now this is a trick you have to watch a few times. You kind of have to slow it down. I did this work for you. It's a nollie 360 hally pop. The front foot goes under, forces the board to do 540 gazelle flip. Yeah, a lot of precision, skill, and confidence required to pull this off. He also done this trick in Globe Opinion. I think he did it twice in a row in that video. Never been done trick because it's like such an unusual technique to get that front foot under. And now it gets a little more like street skating, technical. We get this nose many, nollie tray flip to many. To this day, still a very decent tag trick. We give a lot of skaters a hard time for sure trying to land this. And now look at the smile of my face. This back 5-0 finger vertical heel flip to nose many, that is just a Rodney thing. So unique. No one else came up with stuff like this. And I think no one else has done it ever since. So cool. We got a half flip to dark side, but he kind of manages to land into fakey manny. Getting a crazy combo. Flip nose manual, tray shove, nose manual, nollie flip out. I think that was the same combo from Miss Globe Opinion Ender. The gobble shovel again, crooked half cap heel off, so good. Kickflip onto this, whatever this is, sidewalk with crazy good kickers on it. And we got this under 360 double flip, not to be mistaken with the 360 double flip. When you slow it down, you can see it's all in the back foot. So clean, such a good roll away. I love that clip. And I also love this clip with the hands going like, yeah, I always thought that was kind of funny when I saw it. And with this, he's stepping up his own Primo Slide game. Now we're gonna see much more variations, which are more difficult. On this kickflip Primo Slide, we got a rollo out. I would say it's more tricky than a shove out. And it continues. On this one, we got a vertical heel flip out. It's amazing. How did he come up with this kind of stuff? I love to see the raw footage. And just like that, we have another dark side combo. Nollie back heel. Dark side, I don't know what to say. He's like the only person that I've seen doing this. Picnic table, 5-0, grabs it. Tray finger flip out. Just doing a 5-0 on a ledge and grabbing your board like this is kind of a task. But then tray finger flip, something only he can do, I guess. And finally, we're gonna see some Casper slide action. Casper slide, 2 nose many on these picnic tables. It's a crazy hard combo. Casper slides, they have given me the hardest time to learn. I wonder how many tries this took. For us, it's just a 3-second clip. All the work that is behind it is kind of invisible. And we'll probably remain a secret. This is a trick that transfers into the infamous Hollywood flat ground session. Most tricks we're gonna see right now are MBDs. That kickflip underflip, such a hard flat ground trick. He does it so well. You gotta have the quickest feet to do that. Crazy precision. He manages to do all of it. He's the inventor of it. And today in 2023, only few skaters do this trick because it's annoyingly difficult. It's a struggle to learn those. We have this little Easter egg here. Rodney Mullen, Hollywood star, which changes to Xavier. This is how to pronounce his name in Swiss German. And continue with this very heel flip, underflip. You have to slow this down to understand what is happening there. Otherwise, I could not tell, even if I did watch the part in real time 1,000 times. Next level. Some say Rodney was ahead of his time, but I would say like just he created his own time. He had a bubble, and in this bubble, there was his skating and there was the skating from anyone else. The insanity. And then we have this half gap flip on the flip, so good. He does it in a line. It makes no sense to do a trick like that in a line. Another 360 under double flip, so good. Followed by this heli pop. Big pop on that one. I could not imagine how hard it is to piece all of these tricks together. And here we got Rodney almost killing Jack Nicholson. So funny to see his reaction. Is it possible that this is staged, or was this just, did this happen? We can probably never tell. Now the vibe of the part changes. We got an epic sun and everything slows down. Seeing this nollie flip underflip, so difficult. Also interesting, he underflips it with the front foot. Usually he does the underflip with the same foot that is executing the flip. But on this version, it is different. And now we're gonna get that flip underflip switch. I mean, look at the way he landed this. So clean. It's a miracle. He's the inventor of the trick. He also does it switch. A master of senses for sure. He's about to prove this with his backside flip, underflip. What is happening here? This is madness. Each of those would take many years of skating, lots of hours of trying that one specific trick. He just keeps going with the same trick nollie. So perfect. Getting that underflip, it is something that is hard to comprehend if you've never done a trick like that before. And if you've done a flippy underflip variation, you can like fully appreciate how insane this Hollywood star session is. It ends with the switch backside flip underflip. It is a trick that I have also done. I don't have very vivid memory of it, but it took me quite some time. Now another band session. I actually never noticed before. He's actually rolling up on this bench. Front crook, pop out to backside nose grind. Amazing combo. Followed by another genius transition showing this half cap crook pressure. Inward heel flip out. He also done that in round 2. Front crook pressure. 180 flip out. Half cap crook. Nollie back pressure heel flip out. Apart from his freestyle related trick, these would be super legitimate street tricks. What am I saying? Like these are legitimate street tricks that still to this day are very technical. Now we get a beauty of a clip. Impossible to nose many. Balancing well. Impossible out. This trick has this infamous name for a reason, because it's hard, and he manages to combine both of them. Yeah, by the way, he's the inventor of the impossible, if you didn't know. An interesting detail that I haven't mentioned before, look at his setup for the impossible. I have not noticed this before, and yeah, not impossible out of nose many. It's like, I wish I could do those. I wish. So more bank manners, nose many, nollie flip to many, nose many, nollie flip, nose many. So good, man. The fact that this bank is like kind of steep for manys makes it a lot harder, I guess. I would love to do that trick on a mellow up mini pad. Now he does basically the same trick backside. Such a nice nollie flip out at nose many. Like so much control. Yeah, he's destroying the spot. He owns it with this trail flip to nose many. So smooth. Now the other way around. Epic shot with the dog. Ollie up. Many triple, many to fake. Peak tech skating around that time. I dare to say, I watched this specific clip so many times. It's another underflip, but it's done so well. I mean, look at this. He underflips it and the board goes up. He catches it. It's so hard to catch one of those. And he just does it the best way possible. Not finished with the bank yet. He goes for this half cab impossible. Adding another rotation, it actually would be a full cab impossible. Sort of his signature move. Yeah, what to say about this? It just looks magical. I've done this trick as well, but I could never do it this good. And just like that, we enter another NBD section. 100% confident that all of those were NBDs. We started off with a triplet primo slide shove out. Right here, I'm just gonna mention, to make that happen, you kind of have to have leveled mani pads. It is possible not having those two leveled, but that would make it so much more difficult. And yeah, I think that is the reason why these pads are leveled. We got another tray flip into primo slide. This time roll flip out, super clean. From this angle, it's kind of tough to say if it was leveled or not, but if it was not, I'm gonna give it even more props than I already do. Very heel flip in, roll out. You already invented like so many tricks and now you just keep going. When I did these kind of combos, I kind of did the same thing. It's kind of funny. Okay, now look at this. Nollie tray flip, do primo slide, shove out, primo pad bouncing from the impact. He lands it so clean again. And he keeps going, like kickflip, primo slide, roll to nose many, another MBD, nose many, tray shove, too many, primo, kickflip to primo slide, shove out. How in the world? One of the few tricks in that section that I haven't done, yeah. Even in a video game, it would take a decent amount of time. We move on to the ender, kickflip primo slide, roll to rail side primo slide, front shove out, perfect make, and like that, the part is done. I've also duplicated this ender, and it was one of the toughest challenges of my life, I guess. It was amazing to rewatch this, paying even more attention to the details. And I did my best to point out how legendary this part is, how much I admire it, and I can only assume how much joy this brought to skaters and non-skaters all over the planet, helping us to get a new understanding on what was possible or not, and also bringing more acceptance to freestyle skating. Again, I guess freestyle skating is amazing. And yeah, that was it, one of my all-time favorites. I will probably never recreate all of his tricks. It's also not my intention, but from watching this as a kid, I just wondered, like, how does it feel to land this trick or that trick? The initial reason I chased after this trick, but I don't want to become a modern version of Rodney Mullen or whatever. I just really think his tricks are amazing. Like, you get comments in a while, all you do is duplicating his tricks only. That's actually not true. I add stuff to his tricks or like do them in a different way, mixing it up with my own style. That's what I do, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you want to support me, all the links in the description, Pro Model, the Geiger skate pants, and Patreon. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully see you back soon on this channel. I actually just got another trick on this, and I will start editing on it right now. So have a good one. Hopefully see you soon.